Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoot, back with the United Battle Championship Season 6, week number 2. This is actually going to be a double whammy. We're going to have week number 2 and week number 3 in the same video. So I'm going to quickly go over both my teams and then adequately go over the battles. So my first team here, or my opponent has Landorus, Therian, Rotom Wash, Mega Scizor, Arcanine, Florges, Azelf, Tyrantrum, Virizion, Staraptor, Linoon, and Alolan Graveler. So I felt like outside of Virizion, revenge killing my Manaphy puts in a hell of a lot of work. Beat down the Landorus, beat down the Arcanine, and same thing for Zardex. It puts in the work. And then the rest of my team is basically just like defensive backbone and hazards. So yeah, Manaphy here with Tailglow, Scald, Psychic, and Heal Bell with the Rindo Berry. Max speed, so I can speed tie with, so I can outspeed Landorus, Arcanine, and speed tie with Staraptor. Scald hits his entire team except Rotom Wash and Virizion, which Psychic will hit Rotom Wash neutrally and Virizion super effectively. And after a Tailglow, they're not going to appreciate that. I did not need a fourth move coverage, and I did not run like Rain Dance or Z Rain Dance or anything, so I figured that I would just throw Heal Bell on here, and potentially like if things like Florges or Arcanine, or even Rotom Wash, Will-O-Wisp, Toxic, or Thunder Wave, anything like that on something like Zard or Decidueye or something like that, I just want to be able to get rid of that. So yeah, next up we got the Charizard Dragon Dance, 2 attacks, and Roost. This is basically the best Zard set, is, you know, when you can run Dragon Dance, Dual Stab, and Roost. It's so phenomenal. We have enough speed to, I think, outpace a Scarf Landorus Therian. So even at +1, you know, +1 speed, +1 attack, a Choice Scarf Max Speed Staraptor could potentially come in and revenge kill us, which is pretty scary. But yeah, next up we have a solution to Staraptor with a I think my spread's a little bit different. I think I had like 28 EVs in speed or defense and a little bit less in special defense. But regardless, this mental herb sturdy set here prevents me from being taunted by things like Azelf. Get my stealth rocks up and then whirlwind things around. Throw off a Roost, and I got Iron Head here, so I can hit the floor just a little bit harder. This thing's a decent check to Landorus, decent check to Mega Scizor, Florges, Tyrantrum, Staraptor, Virizion, etc., and Linoon. Don't forget that. So yeah, next up we have Rotom Wash is just going ham, bolt switching around on our team. So we just want to throw in something that can continuously come in on Rotom Wash. We packed the Swords Dance on our Decidueye this week. Apollo here with the leftovers and the overgrow. Swords Dance because Rotom Wash can burn us, and if we get burnt, we're no longer a check, so we need to be able to Swords Dance up in case we are burnt, and then hit them up with the Leaf Blade. Max special defense, pretty standard set here with Roost and Defog. Nothing too crazy about this set. Next up, we got Scolipede here with the Focus Sash, Toxic Spikes, Endeavor, Baton Pass, and Protect. Bit of a weird Scolipede set this week, but I think it's going to be effective as I can set up my Toxic Spikes. Can potentially be broke down to my Sash, Endeavor, and then let Toxic Spikes, you know, do its little toxic damage. Say something like this happens. I throw up my Toxic Spikes as he goes hard into, let's say, Rotom Wash. And then I click Protect as he doubles out into Arcanine. And now his Arcanine is poisoned because of the Toxic Spike, and he's going to click the Fire type attack and brings me down to my Sash. I click Endeavor, Arcanine comes down to its imaginary Sash and then dies to toxic damage, which is cool. So yeah, that's the idea behind that. It don't have to be Arcanine. It could be Florges, it could be Tyrantrum, it could be Linoon, Virizion, whatever it might be. If I get a Toxic Spike up and it comes in on it and breaks me down to my Sash, and I get the Endeavor off and bring it down to 1 HP, and then the Toxic Spike will do the rest for me. So I have Protect as well. Protect guarantees me a speed boost. If I get a speed boost, then I can Baton Pass, you know, I can Baton Pass it out into Manaphy or Zard or even the Decidueye. So like if I need a fast defog off, I can Baton Pass a speed boost to the Decidueye, get my defog off and whatnot. So yeah, that's the idea behind that. And last but not least, we have our boy Sebby here with the Ice Beam, Toxic, Wish, and Protect. This is our Landorus Therian check, and most likely our lead if he brings the Landorus Therian, because we can just click Ice Beam. I wouldn't expect him to stay in, knowing that Licky Licky could pack Ice Beam, but you never know. So I do pack the Toxic as well. I am walled by Arcanine with, just having Ice Beam. So Toxic is nice if Arcanine wants to switch in, just pop it with the Toxic, and then Wish Protect, stall it down. I am max defense because this allows me to live a +2 Earthquake from Landorus Therian. I'm not sure if it's with or without rocks, but either way, Landorus is a problem, let's just say that. Anyways, we'll hop into the battle real quick. Okay, so here we are in the replay. My opponent does bring the Staraptor, the Arcanine, the Landorus Therian, all big threats that I figured would come. Florges, Rotom Wash, and the Azelf. So, predicting an Azelf lead here, I'm just going to lead off with Scolipede. And I'm going to predict him to just want to switch out, but he's actually going to stay in and throw up his rocks as I throw up my Toxic Spikes. Not a big deal. I'm going to throw up a second layer here and see what he wants to do. And he brings me down pretty low here, so I'm just going to click the Endeavor here. I am way faster than everything on his team at this point. And he goes straight into the Landorus Therian, meaning this thing is no longer a huge threat, but he reveals to be Leftovers, a defensive variant, and it's most likely going to a defog here. So I'm just going to switch out into Licky Licky and see what he wants to do here. I think I could click Ice Beam here and knock him out, but maybe the better play is to throw off a Wish or a Toxic. As he goes out into the Azelf, and I miss my Toxic, so a bit unfortunate there, but it is the game we play, nothing we can do about that. I go out to the Scolipede here as he taunts me. Not sure exactly why he taunted me here, but I'm just going to click the Endeavor, bring him down just as low as I am. So 2 Endeavors, bringing 2 Pokemon down really, really low. I'm going to predict my opponent to predict the Sucker Punch and not taunt, but he actually does taunt, so luckily I did click the Leaf Blade, and he goes out into his Arcanine here. I'm max special defensive, and I could take a hit, but I don't want to, as he just throws off a Toxic and misses. So now we both missed a Toxic, but I don't think either of them mattered too much. Here he goes into his Landorus though. I'm just going to click I think I throw off a Wish first, and now I'm going to click the Ice Beam to make sure this Landorus drops. As he does do about 30% with the Earthquake, and now I'm going to get my Wish back, as well as knocking him out. So now he brings in the Florges, and here I'm just going to throw off a Toxic, I believe, and I miss again. So now Florges is a problem. I know he's not going to allow me to just Toxic it now. He may go out into Rotom, he may go into Staraptor. He does go into the Staraptor as I go into Skarmory, so things aren't too bad at this point. And he U-turns out, gets a crit, a bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I am able to finally get my rocks up though here, and now I'm going to switch back out into Licky Licky. And what I need is a Wish here. I need a Wish. My opponent's actually going to switch out into Staraptor, and I'm going to switch out into Manaphy. And here's where something just, had I thrown off a Wish there with Licky Licky, and he switched out to Staraptor, and I click Protect, and I get my Wish back and see what he's locked into. So it would have been huge for me had I just clicked Wish there with the Licky Licky. And here's where I'm going to actually make a mistake. I was playing on an iPad, and I'm trying to sack off my Licky Licky here, but I actually clicked Skarmory The only mon that can take one hit from this thing and bop it back, well, not bop it, but get damage back, I misclicked, went straight into it, and I lose my check to Staraptor. So I have to end up sacking off Decidueye, putting this thing in Surf or Scald range. It's even in Psychic range as well. And I got to risk a speed tie here. So my opponent actually is a choice band variant, and this was a speed tie that he won. So a bit unfortunate there, but like I said, the game we play, it is the game we play. So what I'm going to do here is go into my Zard and try to win with Zard. He throws off a Toxic and misses, so a little bit of justice from all the crazy shit that's happened so far. I think he just clicks it again here as I go into Sebi. Sacking this thing off, which should have been sacked off long ago. Shouldn't have had to got rid of Decidueye or Manaphy. Oh man, this match was mine. So I'm going to Dragon Dance up here with Zard, and he's going to throw off his Toxic there, and here I'm going to roost up just to see if he has any way to damage me, and he goes for the Morning Sun. So Toxic, Morning Sun, Flamethrower. Toxic, Morning Sun, Flamethrower. I don't remember his last move. Anyways, here's the problem. Flare Blitz is going to give me a lot of recoil on top of the Toxic damage, and I just can't roost all this damage off anymore. Had I been able to roost this off right here, if you even missed this Hydro Pump, then I could potentially win this game again. I could have switched out to Skarmory, come back in with Zard, and then started roosting up and setting up again. And that's just not the case. So here what happens is I'm going to roost up as he does miss the Hydro. The Hydro, that didn't matter. He does actually miss. So what's going to happen is he goes into this thing. He's going to get I'm going to roar him out. I don't have anything to hit this thing with. And it's going to bring in the Rotom Wash. And I figured if he wasn't offensive, I could maybe live. But he is offensive, and he knocks me out with the Thunderball. So it's going to be a good game, and we'll go ahead and hop into the prep for Week 3. Okay, so here we are with our Week 3 prep, and we're taking on Bronson, coach of the Portland Poliwags. Pretty good battler. Not bad at all. He's got Megaladios, Clefable, Greninja, Thundurus Incarnate, Cobalion, Amoonguss, Cofagrigus, Seismitoad, Mamoswine, Kangaskhan, and Hypno. And we have, we've brought Manaphy, Zard, Decidueye, Togekiss, Scolipede, and Necrozma. So we got Tailglow, 2 attacks and Skill Swap. Only needed 2 attacks, and he does have a Clefable, unaware Clefable potentially. So Skill Swap's going to be nice for that. I just want to go ahead and point something out. I said he's got Mamoswine, and what else did I say? Mamoswine and Amoonguss maybe. Anyways, he didn't have Mamoswine the week prior. I prepped for something else, Nidoking, and something else I forgot. But he ends up having a Mamoswine and something else that I forgot that I did not prep for. So keep in mind that I didn't prep for a Mamoswine, and there's something else on his team I forgot that I didn't prep for. I don't remember exactly what it was. Probably Seismitoad or something. I'm not real sure. Anyways, we have Tailglow, 2 attacks, and Skill Swap. Enough speed to outpace Nidoking that he doesn't have. So it's fucking stupid. Tailglow, Scald, Ice Beam, and Skill Swap. Skill Swap's there so that I can swap skills or swap abilities with the Clefable and get rid of its unaware so that Tailglow is actually doing damage. The ICM Z Ice Beam is there for the Amoonguss. I have enough special attack to knock it out after Rocks if I'm at +3. Unless it's like a max special defensive assault vest set or something like that. Scald hits everything else except like Megaladios, which is also bought by Ice Beam. So yeah, Manaphy's pretty cool on this matchup. Next up we got a Dragon Dance Zard X with Dual Stab and Roost again. This is such a phenomenal set. Able to run an Adamant Nature. The thing about Adamant Nature is that you can run your speed how you want, and I have mine set, so I can outpace the Nidoking. And then I have just a little bit more than a Jolly Max Attack Zard X would have. I have a little bit more attack investment than that. And then I have a lot of bulk investment. Well, not a lot, but I have a decent amount of HP investment. And after Dragon Dance and Tough Claws boosted, this thing is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Megaladios is dropping to the Dragon Claw. Clefable dropping to the Flare Blitz, Greninja to the Dragon Claw, Thundurus to either, Cobalion to the Flare Blitz, Amoonguss to the Flare Blitz. Cofagrigus is going to eventually drop. It won't drop immediately. Seismitoad's going to drop. Mamoswine's going to drop. Kangaskhan, Hypno, they're all going to drop. Mind you, I didn't know he had Mamoswine, but it would still drop unless it's like a Focus Sash Earthquake variant. but hopefully I have rocks up or something. Next up, we have our Apollo here with our Decidui with the Cobra Berry, Spirit Shackle, Leaf Blade, Roost, and U-Turn. Max Special Defense, pretty good check to Thunders, pretty good check to things like Grin and whatnot. I can hit it up with a powerful Leaf Blade. I can trap things for Spirit Shackle, Roost up, and then U-Turn out and whatnot. So it's a pretty cool mon. Next up, we have a Togekiss. Mind you, I am going through this pretty quickly because I do have 2 battles in one video. Leftovers here for Togekiss: Defog, Roost, Dazzling Gleam, and Air Slash. So I have quite a bit of special defense investment and HP investment, and a little bit of defense investment with a defensive boosting nature. This allows me to take things on like Bengallades, Greninja, not Thunders Incarnate, excuse me, Cofagrigus, and a few other mons that he had that, like Kangaskhan and Hypno and whatnot. So this thing is just like a defensive mon, kind of like a pivot, roost up and get rid of rocks for me. Next up, we have a Focus Sash, Spike Setting Scolipede with Baton Pass and Dual Stab. X Scissor and Poison Jab hits everything on his team outside of Cobalion, which is okay, I guess. I could have packed Earthquake on here, but I figured if he does have the Cobalion, I could just get a Speed Boost off and then Baton Pass out into something like Zard. And the real plan is to Baton Pass out into this this Necrozma here. Max Special Attack, Modest, Photon Geyser, Signal Beam, and Moonlight with the Stealth Rocks and the Cobra Berry. So this is a pretty good mon here. It matches up decently well. And Photon Geyser with a modest max special attack is doing half to things like Clefable, Thunders Incarnate, Cobalion. It drops the Moongus straight up. It does a lot to Cofagrigus, Seismitoad, Mamoswine. His whole team gets bot by. So it's really nice. And we'll go ahead and hop into the replay real quick. Okay, so here we are in the battle. My opponent decides to bring the Thunders Incarnate, Greninja, Clefable, Seismitoad, Mamoswine, and Cobalion. Pretty much expected outside of the Mamoswine, and I think Seismitoad. I think those were the 2 mons that I did not know that he had. Still feel adequately prepared, and I'm still upset that my avatar is a female. I'm just kidding. Anyways, we'll hop into the replay. This is going to be short, I do believe. I'm actually just going to put it in fast motion and not really talk too much about it because there's not really much to talk about. This is one of the most haxiest games I've ever had. So it goes for the Thunder Wave there, and I hard switch out into Necrozma after I get a Spike up. He taunts me here as I go for the Stealth Rock, and now he goes for the Thunder Wave again. So I'm just going to hard switch right back out into Scolipede and get up another layer of spikes. Get my speed boost. He goes for the Iron Head, and I'm Baton Pass my speed out into Necrozma. And here I did my multiplication wrong. I thought I was at ×2 speed, so I figured this photon geyser would go off before he could T-wave me, but it does not. But look at that. That animation is beautiful. And look how much it does. It does 50% to this Cobalion, which is really, really bulky Cobalion. And he taunts me here, so I still can't get my rocks up or anything like that. And I have to sack off my Scolipede here. Now I'm going to go into my Decidui, and he's going to Thunder Wave that as well. So basically here, he's faster than all of my Mons with Cobalion, and he just wanted to Thunder Wave and Iron Hand flinch me down. So he's got like this really, really bulky Cobalion with leftovers and Thunder Wave and Iron Head. It's basically like Paraflinch with Togekiss or Jirachi. I have Togekiss and I don't even run Paraflinch. You know what I'm saying? So what's going to happen is he's just going to continue to Thunder Wave and paralyze me and whatnot. So here's the thing. Why do I disagree with this? Not only this set, I disagree with his entire plays and whatnot. Listen to this. Say I led Scolipede and I was a Protect set, and I Protect on turn 1. Then I got the speed boost and I'm faster than him. In the following turn I click Substitute. Say I was a Protect sub Baton Pass set with Scolipede, and he clicks Thunder Wave as I click Protect, and then the following turn he clicks Thunder Wave again and I click Sub. So here I'm behind a sub and he missed his chance to paralyze me. So now I Baton Pass out into Zard, which takes no damage from close combat or Iron Head. So he's not going to break my sub that I just got Baton Pass into my Zard. Now my Zard is at +1 speed, behind a sub, and can Dragon Dance up. So then I click Dragon Dance, and I have a win. You know what I'm saying? I would be at ×2 speed with +1 attack, and my Zard set would just run through his team. But it is Pokemon, and you know, Paraflinches do happen, crits do happen, crit flinches do happen, flinches happen, flinches happen, flinches happen. It's Pokemon. That's what happens. Sometimes you win by it, sometimes you lose by it. But the main thing is to forget about it and move on to the next battle. So I'll see you guys in week 4.